The financial markets didn't give us the kind of welcome to the new year we were hoping for this past week. Interest rates edged higher with the stock market giving up some of the gains from the big year-end rally. Let's touch on what happened and look at the week ahead in this week's Mortgage Market Update. On Wednesday, the minutes from the December Federal Reserve meeting from 2 weeks ago were released. Overall, the minutes amplified Fed Chair Jerome Powell's take that the Fed is likely done hiking rates and will begin cutting this year. Thankfully, the bond market liked it, which halted a spike higher in rates that we were seeing. However, there was a line in the minutes that did not grab a lot of attention in the media, but is worth following for us here. Quote, several participants suggested it would be appropriate to begin discussing technical factors about slowing balance sheet runoff well before such a decision is reached. This is an important line as some Fed members are starting to talking about how to slow the shrinking of their balance sheet, which is filled with trillions of dollars of Treasury and mortgage bonds. So, what does this mean for mortgages and housing? The Fed would slow the balance sheet runoff by reinvesting proceeds from the return of principal on bonds that have matured, as well as a refinance or purchase activity. If the Fed is buying bonds, it will attract other buyers. This would help spreads between treasuries and mortgage bonds narrow, which would go a long way to help home loan rates decline further. Now let's move on to the JOLTS report, which is a leading indicator on the labor market. It shows how many help wanted signs are posted or jobs available and how many people are quitting their job. In a case of bad news is good news, the reading this last week showed less jobs available and quitting at 3-year lows. It's bad news economically, but it is exactly what the Fed wants to see to lower inflation and slow demand, elevated unemployment. Let's break it down further. People are less likely to quit if they can't find a job. And if there are less help wanted signs or jobs available, the next shoe to drop is higher unemployment. Why? First, businesses stop hiring. Next, hours worked get cut. And lastly, if conditions do not improve, companies lay off people. The good news, even if unemployment ticks back above 4%, which the Fed is forecasting, that would still be historically low unemployment and a great driver of housing. Now, looking ahead, this week, the Treasury will auction off more bonds, which could generate some excitement. The main economic report will be the December Consumer Price Index, or CPI report, on Thursday, which will give us a reading on consumer inflation. If this report meets or falls beneath expectations, it would cement the rate hike back in July as indeed being the last. Now, thanks for hanging with me for this week's Mortgage Market Update. Be sure to like, comment, and share. And as always, I am here to help, and I look forward to funding your future. I wish all of you an awesome start to the new year.